So today's question that I've been thinking about is, does music influence, does drugs influence music? And if so, how much? Does it make you a better musician? I'd like to do some studies on this. Take a couple stoners in a room, get them high, give them, you know, instruments, see what happens. So, despite, being under the influence, and the Beatles, for instance, a great example, they were high on acid many a time. They wrote a song. Of course, acid is totally different than marijuana. I mean, they're the same, some of them, sometimes they have the same feelings and emotions that come from both drugs, and, both have really artistic qualities. But, even acid, I don't think that any drug really influences you to be a good musician. And so, I have friends who solely take drugs just to see if it makes them better. And really, you have to be a good musician in the first place. You gotta be artistic in the first place. You know, Jimi Hendrix didn't get as good as he is or was. Rest his soul. He didn't get that good just by taking drugs. I mean, he was, at a young age, he was backup guitars for like B.B. King and people like that. That was even before really the hippie movement, or at least before he was really in the hippie movement, counterculture movement, and of course, the drugs, you can tell, looking at, listening to his music and listening to other artists' music, when their music does start to be drug influenced. It turns out to be 30-minute guitar solos, lots of experimenting, lyrics that seem, a little bit far out, but also just a little bit, divine and unearthly in general. So, don't try drugs solely to see if it makes you better at something. 'Cause you gotta be good in the first place. You gotta be good in the first place. You gotta be artistic in the first place. It's just that certain drugs, not all drugs, certain drugs have a change in how you think and can sometimes influence, somebody who, you know, is making a song or making, poetry or making, paintings, any type of art. But it really doesn't make you better. It makes it sound better to your ear.